What's going on, everyone? Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while now. I'm speaking directly to those of us in the later stages of life. You know, the ones who've seen a lot, done a lot, and have a few gray hairs to prove it. And as we get older, something becomes clearer. Something that's been tugging at my thoughts more and more. A lot of what we were told about life, about what would make us happy, what success looks like, and what it means to live a meaningful life, has been, quite frankly, a pack of lies. I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me. If you're anything like me, you probably spent most of your life doing exactly what you were supposed to do. You followed the roadmap laid out for you, you went to work, built a career, paid off the mortgage, raised the kids, and saved up for retirement. And now, here we are in those golden years, and I have to ask, was it all worth it? Was that life we were sold really the key to happiness? If we're being honest, a lot of us are starting to realize that no, it wasn't. That we've been chasing the wrong things for far too long. But what exactly were we chasing? And more importantly, what do we do about it now that we're here, staring at a future that may not feel as fulfilling as we thought it would? The illusion of stability. For most of our lives, we were told that stability was the key to happiness. That if we worked hard, stuck to a steady job, raised a family, and kept our lives as stable as possible, we'd be set. We were conditioned to believe that the safe path, the one with a solid job, a long marriage, and a house in the suburbs, was the surest way to secure happiness. That if we just kept everything in order, nothing would go wrong. And for a while maybe that felt true. Maybe in our 30s and 40s, when we were raising kids, managing our careers, and paying off the mortgage, that stability felt like success. We were keeping it all together, after all. But now, as we sit here in our later years, many of us are realizing that stability and happiness aren't the same thing. Stability, for all its benefits, often traps us in a cycle of monotony. It keeps us on a narrow track, afraid to venture too far out of the lines in case we lose everything we worked so hard to build. And when you look back, what do you see? For some, you see a life well lived. But for others, it's a life that felt safe but also limited. Safe but unfulfilled. Take a moment to ask yourself, did you pursue passions that made your heart race? Did you take time for yourself, or were you always too busy making sure everything was stable for others? These are the questions that tend to come up in the quiet moments of retirement, when the noise of a busy life fades away, and we're left alone with our thoughts. We realize that maybe we lean too hard on the idea of security, and in doing so, sacrifice the moments that might have brought us true joy. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting stability. Stability can offer a strong foundation. But maybe, just maybe, we leaned a little too hard into it. Maybe we spent too much time worrying about playing it safe and not enough time taking the kind of risks that would have made us feel alive. The myth of success. Let's talk about success for a minute. For most of our lives, we were told that success looked a certain way. It was all about the job you had, the money you made, the house you owned, and the status you achieved. We were led to believe that success was something tangible, something you could measure. And like so many others, we bought into that vision of success. We worked hard, sacrificed our time, our energy, sometimes even our health, chasing those external markers of success. But now, here we are, with all the trappings of success, or at least what society told us success looked like. And yet, something feels off. We've achieved the milestones we were supposed to achieve, yet we're left wondering, why doesn't it feel as fulfilling as I thought it would? The reason, I believe, is because we were chasing the wrong thing. Success, true success, isn't about the house, the car, the title, or the savings account. It's not about how much wealth you accumulate, or how high you climb on the corporate ladder. True success is about living a life that feels meaningful, purposeful, and aligned with who you are as a person. It's about spending your time doing things that bring you joy, that make you feel alive, that give your life meaning beyond the material. Yet, for decades, we were taught to believe that success was a one-size-fits-all formula. We were told to measure our lives against a standard that didn't take into account our individual dreams, our personal definitions of fulfillment. And now, in the quiet of our later years, we're starting to see that success should have been defined by us, not society. Think about it. How many of us sacrificed our passions for the sake of success? How many of us pushed aside our dreams because they didn't fit into the traditional mold of what success was supposed to look like? And now, after all these years, we're realizing that those sacrifices didn't necessarily bring us the happiness we were promised. The lie about retirement. One of the biggest lies we were told was that retirement was the ultimate goal. Work hard, save up, and one day you'll get to retire and finally enjoy life. They called it the golden years. But now that many of us are in retirement, we're starting to realize that it's not the magical phase of life we were promised. Retirement, for many, is not the dream vacation we envisioned. Yes, there's more free time, fewer obligations, but the excitement doesn't last forever. The initial freedom can quickly give way to feelings of emptiness. The truth is, after spending decades in the workforce, many retirees struggle with the lack of structure and purpose. We spent so long being defined by what we did, our careers, our roles as parents or spouses, that when those roles are no longer front and center, it's easy to feel lost. I've had conversations with friends in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s who tell me that retirement isn't as fulfilling as they thought it would be. Some of them miss the structure and social interaction that work provided. Others feel a sense of restlessness, like they're waiting for something to happen but don't know what it is. And for others, there's the reality that their health or finances aren't what they expected them to be, which makes enjoying retirement even harder. The truth about retirement is that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution to life's problems. Just because we've reached retirement doesn't mean life automatically gets easier or more enjoyable. In fact, for many, retirement is a time of reflection, sometimes painful reflection on what they could have done differently. It's a time when we realize that if we weren't happy before retirement, we're not going to be magically happy just because we don't have to go to work anymore. But here's the good news: retirement is also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to reinvent yourself, to focus on the things that bring you joy, to rediscover passions you might have set aside years ago. It's a time to try new things, meet new people, and create a life that feels meaningful, even if it looks different from the one you thought you'd be living at this stage. Retirement isn't the end of the road. It's a new chapter, and like any chapter, it's up to you how you want to write it. So instead of seeing retirement as the finish line, see it as a fresh start. Use this time to focus on what truly matters to you, not what society said should matter. The myth of settling down. Another lie we were sold is the idea that we need to settle down and live a conventional life. From a young age, we're told that the path to happiness is clear: get an education, find a job, get married, buy a house, and have kids. Society tells us this is the formula for a fulfilling life. But as we get older, we start to realize that this settling down concept may not be for everyone. For some of us, the idea of settling into one place or one role feels stifling. We're made to believe that a career in one field, a steady home in one location, and a fixed family life will bring us happiness and stability. But what if it doesn't? What if we want more freedom, more adventure, or more variety in our lives? Society tends to make us feel guilty for questioning the traditional path, for wanting to break free from the mold. I've met so many people, of all ages, who have chosen a different route. People who are happy to rent rather than own, people who embrace the idea of a nomadic lifestyle, people who find joy in changing careers or moving to new cities frequently. They're often labeled as irresponsible or immature by those who follow the traditional path. But I've learned that there's no right way to live life. The idea that we all have to fit into a certain box or timeline is a myth that limits our potential. Some of the happiest people I know are those who've resisted the pressure to settle down. They've created lives that suit them, not society's expectations. They've found joy in uncertainty, in new experiences, and in the freedom to choose their own path. They aren't stuck in the traditional narrative of what a successful life looks like, and they are all the more fulfilled for it. The truth is, the definition of settling down is up to you. It's not about living a cookie-cutter life. It's about finding what makes you happy and living life on your own terms. You don't need to follow a predetermined script to feel successful or fulfilled. As you get older, it becomes even clearer that happiness isn't found in a set of rules, it's found in the freedom to create your own. The pressure to have it all together. One of the biggest lies we're told as we get older is that we need to have it all together. Society often gives the impression that by a certain age, we should have our careers, relationships, finances, and personal lives perfectly in place. There's this relentless pressure to appear as if we have everything figured out, even when the truth is far from it. I've experienced this pressure firsthand. There were moments when I felt like I was the only one who didn't have a concrete plan for my future. Everyone around me seemed to have everything in order. They had steady jobs, families, homes, and clear goals. Meanwhile, I was still figuring things out, unsure of what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, or who I wanted to become. But as time passed, I realized that no one really has it all together. We all face struggles, doubts, and uncertainties, no matter how polished we appear on the outside. It's easy to compare ourselves to others and feel inadequate, but the reality is that everyone is on their own unique journey. There's no universal timeline for success or happiness. The notion that we need to have it all together by a certain age is a harmful myth. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. We make mistakes, face setbacks, and have moments of confusion. But these moments are a part of the process. They don't define us, and they certainly don't mean we're failing. As I've grown older, I've learned to embrace uncertainty. It's okay not to have everything figured out. It's okay to take risks, to change paths, and to not follow a linear trajectory. The key is to keep moving forward, learning from our experiences, and trusting that the right opportunities will come at the right time. We don't have to conform to the expectations of having it all together. What's more important is accepting ourselves as we are, with all of our imperfections, and embracing the idea that we are always evolving. Our lives don't need to fit into a neat, predefined box. The beauty of life is in the unpredictability and the freedom to carve our own path. The importance of mental health and self-care. As we grow older, we often hear about the importance of physical health, exercise, nutrition, and sleep. But mental health and self-care are just as vital, yet they're often neglected or overlooked. For many of us, it's easy to focus on what's happening externally while ignoring what's going on internally. However, maintaining mental and emotional well-being is crucial for leading a fulfilling life. When I was younger, I didn't fully understand the weight of mental health. I believed that if I stayed busy, worked hard, and achieved my goals, everything would fall into place. But what I didn't realize was that neglecting my mental health had its own consequences. Stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion began to take their toll, and I found myself burned out, disconnected, and struggling to keep up with the demands of daily life. It wasn't until I started taking my mental health seriously that I began to feel more grounded. I began setting aside time for myself, time to reflect, relax, and engage in activities that made me feel happy and at peace. Whether it was reading, journaling, meditating, or spending time with loved ones, I learned that self-care wasn't just a luxury, but a necessity. Taking care of our minds is just as important as taking care of our bodies. Mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and stress can affect our physical health as well, and vice versa. It's important to recognize when we're feeling overwhelmed and take proactive steps to manage our mental well-being. This could involve seeking therapy, talking to a friend, or simply allowing ourselves to rest when we need it. Self-care isn't about indulgence or selfishness. It's about understanding that we can't pour from an empty cup. To be the best versions of ourselves, we need to prioritize our emotional and mental needs. It's not a sign of weakness to take time for yourself. In fact, it's a sign of strength. It shows that you're in tune with your needs and are willing to take steps to nurture your mental health. As we age, it's important to remember that we are not invincible. We all face challenges, and it's okay to seek help when needed. Mental health is a journey, not a destination, and the more we prioritize it, the healthier and happier we'll be in the long run. Embracing change and finding new purpose. As we enter the later stages of life, change is inevitable. We may retire from our careers, face the loss of loved ones, or experience shifts in our health. These transitions can feel daunting, but they also present an opportunity to embrace a new chapter. In my experience, life after a certain age can be a time of reinvention, a chance to rediscover old passions or explore new ones. After retirement, I found myself at a crossroads. I no longer had the structure of a 9-to-5 job, and I wasn't sure how to fill the empty hours. I realized that I needed to find a new purpose, something that would give me meaning and satisfaction in this new phase of life. I started volunteering, picking up hobbies I had long forgotten, and taking classes on subjects I had always wanted to explore. It was a thrilling time of personal growth and discovery. The key to navigating change is staying open to new possibilities. It's easy to fall into a routine or feel like we've reached the end of our journey, but life is full of potential at every age. Embracing change doesn't mean letting go of what was, it means building on it and creating something new. It's about accepting that life is fluid and that there's always room to evolve. For many of us, finding a new purpose can provide a sense of fulfillment and joy. Whether it's pursuing a new hobby, starting a small business, or engaging in community activities, the possibilities are endless. And the best part is that we don't have to do it alone. There's a wealth of resources and support networks available to help us navigate these transitions. In the end, it's not about how old we are but how open we are to change. Life doesn't stop, and neither should we. Embrace each new day with curiosity and a willingness to explore. No matter our age, we have the power to create new experiences, forge new connections, and discover a deeper sense of purpose. Conclusion: embracing the journey ahead. As we reflect on the many chapters of life, one thing becomes clear: age is not a limitation but an invitation to explore, grow, and redefine our sense of purpose. Whether it's through our passions, relationships, or contributions to our communities, we all have the power to create meaningful and fulfilling lives at any age. The journey doesn't end when we reach a certain age, it evolves, offering us fresh opportunities to learn, adapt, and enrich our lives. Embrace each moment, celebrate the wisdom that comes with experience, and remain open to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Remember, the adventure continues, and it's never too late to start a new one. No matter where you are on your journey, keep moving forward with curiosity, courage, and a willingness to make the most of every opportunity life presents. If you found this video inspiring, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. And while you're here, check out some of my other videos for more stories and insights. Thank you for watching.